Well, I suppose you want to know where I've been.
Seeing as there hasn't been anything uploaded to the YouTube channel, and there's only been like one Twitch stream in the past
3 months, I figured it's time to explain myself. Long story short, I got hired on a 3-month contract at Bungie to fill a gameplay specialist position. The contract got extended until the 31st of August, the day that I'm recording this video. So that's why I'm just returning to this whole thing now. Before we get into all my plans for content, I need to let you guys know about the wonderful world of NDAs, or non-disclosure agreements. The bulk of my contract was spent playing Forsaken, so without going into all the great fun legal details, the gist of the matter is that I can't make content on anything I played until you all complete it first. Yeah, an example would be like The Raid. I played the hell out of The Raid. You know, the one in Forsaken. Yeah, played that a lot. So I can't really participate in World's First Race. It would be a massive dick move to just start explaining how to do all the content without everyone figuring out how to do it themselves. Legal ramifications aside, I genuinely just don't want to deprive people of the awesome first-time experience that we've all had in the past playing stuff. So yeah, I'm not going to be that guy. So what's next? Well, first of all, yes, I will be returning to streaming. Shameless twitch.tv/Holtzmann plug. I really am looking forward to actually hanging out and just playing Forsaken on stream. However, please don't come into the stream and expect me to answer questions about stuff in game, especially if it's something that people are still trying to figure out. So with the previously mentioned NDA stuff in mind, I'm going to temper some of your expectations with the YouTube content that I'm going to be making. I won't be making any videos on new exotic weapons for a while. I want you all to experience some of them for yourselves before I start writing guides on them. Also, I do have some concerns about how my content's going to be perceived. One of my worries is that people will think that since I worked at Bungie, my opinion is the only one that matters, and I really don't want that to happen. So every video that comes out is basically going to have a massive wall of text at the start saying, like, I worked at Bungie, but everything in this video is based on information that everyone else has access to. These are just my opinions as a player, not as a former Bungie employee. So please come to your own conclusions about whatever this video presents yourself. The other thing I want to just get right out of the gate is that I won't be killing myself making YouTube content again. Don't expect a video every single day once I decide that it's time to start making content. I want to take my time with this stuff, and that probably means I won't get to cover everything that I normally would have covered. I really want to stress how unhealthy mentally it was in the past for me to actually keep that schedule up. My 4-month break from doing that was awesome, and it allowed me to kind of remember how freeing it is to not have to constantly worry about what I'm going to make a video of next. I got to be myself again, basically. So a larger portion of my content creation time is just going to be focused on simply streaming, since I feel like that keeps me in a way healthier mindset than a YouTube, career does. Finally, a quick word about the Destiny Community Podcast. I will absolutely be rejoining the cast, just not immediately. I want to give them time to react to everything as they normally would. If I was on the podcast for the first few weeks, it would just be me sitting there quietly. I figure I'm going to let the game be out about a month or so before I return to the show in like some glorious fashion. I don't know. We'll think of something to do. I think that about covers everything in regards to streaming and YouTube stuffs, and I'm sure if you clicked on this video, I don't know what I titled it, I'm sure you have a bunch of questions about my time at Bungie, and the title probably reflects something about that. So the remainder of this video is just going to be me answering whatever questions I can. I asked a bunch in my Discord the other day, so here we go. PackFam42 asked, without getting into too much detail, what were the expectations versus reality going into the job? An example would be, how much of your ideas were taken and considered or implemented? So, yeah, I think this is a really good opportunity to actually just explain what I did there, since a lot of people think that the position was more of like a design role, which that's not the case. I worked with 2 other awesome people, Mercules, who you all probably know from Massive Breakdowns that he does on Reddit, the Massive Breakdown podcast, and then Spot, who is basically an unknown person. She is an incredibly accomplished raid Sherpa. and was brought in basically on that. And yeah, no, we had a fantastic team. But anyway, to the actual question, we had a fire team that would play content as it was given to us, and then we would just give feedback on the content. It was extremely similar to what I did in YouTube, but on like a much broader scale. So I wasn't just reviewing the sandbox or exotic weapons. I wasn't brought in for that. We would playtest activities and give very focused feedback there. Then sometimes we would give really broad feedback on systems like progression. So that's basically what we did at the job. We didn't really do too much of the whole, here are my ideas, please implement them. That's not what we were there for. Samsoni1 asked, what is the workplace like? It's a really awesome place to work. I'm probably going to use that word a lot. I'll try to stop. Everyone is extremely passionate about their work, and it's just really great to be surrounded by people like that. There's this really cool thing about being in a place where you can just start a conversation with someone that you've never met and basically instantly be on the same page about stuff. Reference some old game or various iteration of a WoW dungeon, and they basically immediately know where you're coming from normally. It's kind of my ideal place to work at if I ever had to work at a place surrounded by people. I kind of like to, just be off on my own, doing my own thing, and this was very comfortable. In addition to being like a great place for gaining knowledge, there are a lot of good snacks, so I definitely gained some weight while I was there. That's just a side note. It's not important. RoGamer94 asks, I hope you were paid and it wasn't an internship. The position was in fact paid and not an internship. Fun fact, I've been getting called a shill on the Bungie payroll for years, and well, those people are finally right. I was on that payroll for the past 4 months. Yeah. Frost Diaz asked, did you have to use a standard controller or were you allowed to use your SCUF? I actually use my SCUF most of the time. I would have preferred to do mouse and keyboard, but I'm really picky about my setup when playing mouse and keyboard. And without getting into too much details, like we kind of change play spaces a bunch. Like you walk to different labs to go do play tests and stuff. And having to be really picky about my mouse and keyboard setup just isn't practical like that. So I used my SCUF. Also, I don't know if you noticed, I have like 4 months of shilling to make up for, so you can save some money on a SCUF controller of your own at checkout by using code Holtz. Check the descriptions for more info on that. Also, partner with Astro Gaming. You guys thought I was done. Links and discounts to that in the description as well. I genuinely have no shame. I'm not sorry. I just have to pay rent. Eris117 asked, how many bugs did you find playtesting and how funny were they? We found a lot of bugs, but generally we didn't know about them. We went in with the mindset of like everything that we're playing is in its final state, so we wouldn't assume something was a bug and not give feedback on it, and also we didn't assume something was intended either, if that makes any sense. We would just give feedback, and sometimes that thing that we didn't like, no, it was just a bug. And as far as any unintentional things, it was always really funny to watch cutscenes and cinematics in their early forms. Characters are just like really robotic, lighting is really flat, so things just take on this kind of comical approach. Instead of animating a character running along, that takes time, so, just to get the idea across, there's just a character kind of gliding across the floor, and it's just funny to kind of see that stuff happen. The only other bug that's like funny that immediately comes to mind is there was a vendor that would just look way above where you were, and it was always really unsettling and caught me off guard. Metalmania95 asks, was working at a game company like what you imagined? Was there something within your job you didn't expect, and is it something that you would see yourself continuing with? Well, yeah, I really do want to continue with a career in the game industry. I really enjoyed my time at Bungie, and the fact that the very first game that I got to work on was one that I also really, really enjoyed, it's kind of a miracle once you start hearing some people's stories. The job, it was everything that I wanted it to be. I got to talk to people I had only seen on vidocs almost every single day, conversations that I never dreamt I would get to have about the game. And at the same time, those very same people, I could have conversations with the same people about things completely unrelated to the game, sharing various interests, be it hot sauces, Magic the Gathering, past exploits in World of Warcraft. Being able to do this face-to-face is something I just wasn't getting with streaming in YouTube. So yeah, I definitely want to continue it. I want to thank all of you for watching. It feels really good to be back. So let's go play some games and have some fucking fun. Also, check the description for how to buy my coffee mug and other sponsored stuff.